Happy Monday. Thank you for joining me for this week's Weekly Wisdom. Now, we've been talking about talent development, what it means, and as a leader, why it's important to you. We wrapped up the series last week, but we're going to add one continuation. You see, in the next to last video for talent development, we talked about quiet quitting and why it really wasn't something that we needed to worry about. Well, this week, we're going to talk about quiet firing and why it is absolutely something that you need to worry about. When I first started thinking about quiet firing, thank you, Katie, for giving me the suggestion for this, I put out on social media, tell me your stories, tell me your examples. And I was amazed at how many people came into my DMs to tell me situations where they were at a dead-end job and there was no chance for them to move forward because of something that they had done years ago. Where, like me, they'd experienced the phenomenon of all of a sudden their hours are being cut, but there are help wanted signs. Where they weren't selected for the prime position, they weren't selected for that new promotion, but no feedback was given as to why. And I think this is something that is a serious problem in our workplaces. You see, we avoid feedback like the plague. Now, if you know me, you know how passionate I am about feedback, about giving professional, respectful, and timely feedback, because it can make the difference in somebody's career. And the way that I can explain it is if I'm walking around with spinach in my teeth, and I'm at a conference, and I'm walking around, and all the attendees see me, and they're saying hi, and nobody's telling me anything, I would take that very personally. I'd probably even be a little bit angry. But as leaders, we do the same thing. We let our employees fail. We watch them do it. Everybody is aware that they're doing it. Yet we don't have the courage to stand up and say something. Oh, it might be uncomfortable. What happens if they don't like me? I'm going to be polite. I'm going to be kind. I'm not going to say anything. So instead of talking to the person, we end up talking about the person, to our colleagues, to our people that we mentor, and the people that we trust, but we don't do anything about it. It was interesting when the topic of quiet firing got brought up, how many leaders came out of the woodworks and suddenly said, let me tell you about this problem I inherited. You see, in companies like Disney, where we were transferred regularly, leaders wouldn't deal with problems. They didn't have to, because they knew in 2 to 3 years they would be in a different location. And so leaders would come in with inherited problems. Cast members who were not performing, cast members who were toxic, and nothing was being done. They were just left to do what they would. And so when you think about quiet firing, ask yourself, if you're failing and your leader doesn't say anything to you, doesn't hold you accountable, doesn't show you the right way, whose fault is it? Yours or theirs? My suggestion is both of yours. Don't quiet fire anyone. Have conversations. Give feedback. Give them the same respect that you would want. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, I'm just going to be average today. I'm going to go to work and do a bad job. Help them understand what good looks like. And if it's not the right company, culture, or fit for them, there is kindness in helping people find their next step. Don't be scared to do the tough part of leadership. Fun part of leadership is easy. The tough part is where you determine whether you're a leader or you're just somebody getting a paycheck. All right. Thank you for joining me for this week. I hope you have an absolutely amazing week. And as always, don't forget, you got this. And real quick, if anybody's curious as to how do you give feedback to somebody, how do you start having that conversation, feel free to reach out for a virtual coffee. Absolutely no charge. I'm super passionate about this topic, and I want to help as many leaders as possible learn how to have those difficult conversations. So reach out. My email is going to be coming up on the screen right now. Feel free to email me. We can hop on a call, talk through it. All right, so I'm going to say it one more time. As always, don't forget, you got this. I'll see you next week.